All right, we are Microtech Computing, and this is our team final report. So I'm going to start off talking through the growth of our PC industry and the 5 forces that were at play on us throughout the 8 quarters. Overall, this PC industry has experienced a lot of strong growth, starting pretty small back in Q3, and then really exponentially growing from both the units demanded and sold, and also total spend by our customer base. So by quarter 8, the industry reached $61 million in sales. And we project that growth to continue to accelerate in the coming quarters. If we look at the 5 forces model and what was at play for us, if we look at new entrants, this is a moderate risk. So certainly getting an early start is helpful, but for new entrants, the startup costs are moderately low relative to the revenues that are available to be reaped in a short period of time. So most teams, most of the companies were able to achieve profitability in less than a year. So that makes that risk of additional new entrants moderately high. If we look at our suppliers, they really don't have much bargaining power in this industry, given the rapid pivot between different elements, different componentry being put in the computers. From a buyer perspective, it's really just individual consumers buying directly from us, so not much bargaining power at play there. And then if we look at substitutable products, we're really coming from mainframe computer paradigm, where our PCs are really quite disruptive to the existing industry. So really we're a high threat to them, but they're not much of a threat to us. But the highest and largest risk overall was rivalry amongst the different companies, the different competitors. And these really are because the ability to drop prices and imitate is so easy that it's a high risk that cause swings in the different market share throughout the quarters. So if we look at the threats again, the ability to imitate designs was quite easy. So we were both imitating some of our competitors in some quarters, but given we are the market leader, we're often being copied. Prices were falling in Europe and North America due to the fact that those are maturing markets that were first invested in. And then if we look at the opportunities for us, we see the opportunity to continue moving up market using R&D as a key differentiator. And then the companies that expanded internationally and did so aggressively are able to tap into or get into untapped demand faster. So next up, we're gonna get into our internal analysis.
Thanks, Austin. So next, we're going to take a closer look at our company resources and how they attribute to us being the current leader in the personal computing industry and how they contribute to our competitive advantage overall. So as of our last quarter 8, we have been deemed the most productive workforce in the industry. And that's primarily due to our production worker staff operating at 100% efficiency and our sales force operating at an average of 95.4% across the 5 different regions we currently operate in. And that leads to our next competitive advantage, which is the fact that we do operate as a market leader as it pertains to being a fast-paced global expansion firm. And so what I mean by that is that we currently have sales channels in North America, Latin America, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Additionally, we do have our physical manufacturing plants strategically located in Latin America, which allows us to have access to top talent at lower labor costs compared to our competitors. And so we also possess industry-leading brands and ad judgments in 4 out of 5 of the marketing segments, which affords us to have a vast consumer base. Because we are intentional about positioning ourselves as a premium brand in the market, we're able to utilize a premium pricing model, which in turn allows us to have high profit margins. And with these profit margins, we're able to continue investing into R&D, which allows us to build on those technological capabilities and continue improving our brands to build upon our strategic thrust of being a market leader and expanding our firm globally. So next, we're going to look at our current strategy, which is, as I mentioned before, our primary thrust is to continue positioning ourselves in the market as that high-end, high-quality brand that our consumers come to know and love. And that is our primary differentiation strategy that we've been utilizing and that we will continue to build upon. Because we offer high-quality products to our consumers, we're able to use aggressive pricing. And with that aggressive pricing, we are cognizant to remain below market pricing. And so with our profits that we've made, we want to continue to build on our R&D and new market research so that we can aggressively attack the workhorse, innovator, Mercedes, and traveler market segments. If we're able to continue aggressively targeting these markets, we will continue to build upon our market share that we're able to captivate. And so along with building upon our market research and R&D, we want to continue building up our staff. As I mentioned before, we have the hardest working workforce in the industry. And so we want to continue to incentivize our sales staff and train and develop them to be highly skilled and competitive in the marketplace. And we're also going to continue to build upon our generous compensation packages for both our production workforce as well as our sales force staff. And so along with that, we want to increase our marketing and advertising budget. We want to continue to make targeted ads that allow our consumers to see what our brands have to offer, the quality we have to offer, as well as the fact that we're able to meet and exceed the needs that they have. Additionally, we want to increase our budget to expand our ad placements. So we want to expand our ad placements to appeal to a wider market base internationally. And lastly, we want to focus on our product improvements to the 4 brands we're choosing to focus on moving forward. And this will allow us to focus on our global presence as well. So if we're able to meet the needs of our consumers across the globe, there's no stopping Microtech computing.
Next, we will discuss our performance analysis, and we will do so by looking at our performance trends and our performance ratios. This graph shows the comparison between the market performance of Microtech computing and the competitors in the PC market. The performance of Microtech is much higher than its competitors. And even though the company's performance and market share were on a decreasing trend between quarter 4 and quarter 6, the company was able to turn it upwards in quarter 6. Next slide, please. The demand for the products of the company increased exponentially after quarter 6 due to the addition of new features in the product, such as ultra-fast computing power and high-speed networking. The demand for the products of the company can be seen growing every quarter, even though the company has not been able to meet all the demands generated in the market. Microtech computing has been able to keep up with the increases in demand. The revenue generated by Microtech computing is in accordance with the demand for the products in the market. The increased demand shows potential revenue in the future.
Moving on to ratio analysis. Since Microtech computing does not have any outstanding debt in the past 12 months, the liquidity and debt ratios for the period are 0. The activity and the profitability ratios in the table show that the performance of the company is better than the industry average, in both the most recent quarter and the trailing 12 months. Even though the gross profit margin ratio for the most recent quarter at 45.38% is lower than the industry average of 49.43%, we can see that the overall gross profit margins of the company is better than the industry average for a period of 12 months. While the net profit margins of the industry for the past 1 year is still at a negative 34.26%, the same for Microtech can be seen on an increasing trend and moving upwards at negative 4.73%. Similarly, the return on assets industry average ratio is a negative 20.36% for the trailing 12 months, and the same for Microtech is a positive 1.98%. This also helps to illustrate that the performance of the company is higher than the industry average over a period of 12 months. Next.
Microtech's proposed strategy is to keep going on the course that we have been and maintain our strong brand performance, visibility via competitive advertising. In our marketing department, we plan to introduce version 3 of Newton, Einstein, and Rover. Plan to invest in R&D for fail-proof ultra capacity in Q9 and video conferencing in Q13. In our sales department, we plan on opening new sales offices in order to maintain our market presence in Toronto, Q9, Johannesburg in Q12. We intend to hire new sales staff, which will maintain our strong sales, and we are able to enter new markets. In our human resources department, plan to maintain our competitive compensation packages in order to keep workers productive and motivated. And in manufacturing, we intend to increase fixed capacity in order to ensure the ability to meet demand in future quarters, continue to invest in changeover and R&D to maintain lean operations of our manufacturing facility, and also continue to invest in quality improvements in order to maintain high quality products, standards, and process control. In summary, our strategies are working and we are one of the best teams. We're enjoying our Swiss chalet. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.